Good evening, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I'm here again this evening. It's a special program here again. We want to thank all of you for tuning in. Sorry for the little delay. Music going on and on, showing my little son, who's now 18 years old. That was his picture. But thank you for joining us tonight. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again. We want to thank you as we stand before you again tonight to tell you thank you for all that you have done and continue to do for the Republic of Liberia and the people of Liberia. Those of us who believe in you know that you have the ability. Know that you're not going to forsake her. Know that you will do it for us as long as we come before you, put our problems before you. We know you're going to help us, and you have done so, and you continue to do so. My Lord, we ask that you bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. We ask that you bless the incoming leadership on Mobakai for all the challenges that before him. Give him wisdom. Give him power to see what is before him. My Lord, we ask you to help us. To help us. Bless us all. We ask that you bless the sitting president of the Republic of Liberia, President Weah. Bless our country. We put the country of the Republic of Liberia in your hands, and you have the power. We thank you. We thank you. We're blessed, and we ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Let's go on, folks. Tonight's program is a special one. As you can see, it's an edition of Samson to a conversation with something, but I'm going to be having another friend of mine who is also a Liberian, Mr. Robert AZANGO. Well, I will be calling him here, and he will be on the phone with me. And the intent here tonight is about the candidacy of Flanty KOFFA, Jonathan Flanty KOFFA, the current Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives of Liberia. When I noticed and heard that Flanty KOFFA was now seeking to be the Speaker of the incoming legislatures, I was happy. And in fact, let me just say that in the interest of fairness, Flanty KOFFA is a friend. Flanty KOFFA is a friend. It's a friend of mine. I know he knows me. But it's not about that. Let me just say also, Flanty KOFFA is a sedition. I'm not. I admire and support incoming President Bakai, because I figure with myself that President Bakai has the ability to make sure that Liberia and Liberians achieve better. My opposition to President Weah has nothing to do with hatred. It's about the understanding, and my opposing factor in terms of his policy, strictly based on policy. I felt within myself that Ambassador Bakai has the ability to implement whenever he put, because he has it within him to make sure Liberians get the better thing. President Weah, on the other hand, came along with his friends, and they decided they were going to give us this, what they call proper agenda. And as they come up with a proper agenda, they are unable to implement the proper agenda. And because of that, I threw my weight and support on behind Ambassador Bakai. They don't know me. The people in Unity Party don't know me. They have no idea who Samson is. They don't know me. Only a few. Anthony Cassidy, he knows of me. I know him. He knows me. Sir Johnny, he knows me. I know him. That's about maybe two or three. The rest of them, they don't even know me. So I'm not concerned with that. That's not my issue. But in as much as I am not a member of CDC and I don't support sedition agenda, I am in support of Flanty KOFFA candidacy to be speaker? One or two reasons. One of the reasons from my perspective is that Flanty is a very smart man. There's no question asked. We all know that. Nobody's going to debate that. But that Flanty has the ability to compartmentalize issues in Liberia. In other words, he has the ability to see what is in the best interest of Liberia and what is about politics in terms of political activities with CDC. He will be able to separate those. So my intent and my reason of supporting him is this. If he comes in and becomes speaker, and you will hear this young man here, very smart, very intelligent, he will not put CDC above Liberia. I know Flanty KOFFA. I know KOFFA well. I know him. I know him. He will not put Liberia above, he will not put CDC above Liberia. He will seek the interest of the Republic of Liberia before that of the CDC, because CDC is a political party, and Honorable Flanty KOFFA understands that very well. He understood it. He has dealt with that. Flanty KOFFA was one chairman of Liberty Party. I'll leave that alone. Because somebody will still start writing a Liberty Party fail. Yeah, he start writing already, but I don't care for internet. But the issue here is Flanty KOFFA will be able to take Ambassador Bakai developmental agenda and be able to help Ambassador Bakai, President Bakai, to implement those developmental agenda. I know so. Now you will say, but Unity Party have a candidate. Yes, they do have a candidate in there. That's fine. I have no issue with it. But you're going to, and I'm hoping that my own sister will now be a president pro tem of the Senate. Senator Yomli Kanga to be Senate president pro tem of the Senate. So if you have Yomli Kanga Senate pro tem with Liberty Party and Unity Party working together, and then you got Unity Party speaker, and then you got Unity Party president. What is this? What is this? You're thinking some kind of farm? That farm here, Liberia is a constitutional republic. We need to divide these things so ideas from all over. Ambassador Bakai told us that. He told us, he said, everyone come on board, all hands on deck. So why if Flanty KOFFA say, yeah, my hand, you'll say, no, we want your hand. Because I CDC hand, I beg you, man. That's not what I'm helping to do tonight. So I'm here tonight to say, Flanty KOFFA, thank you for putting your hands up. We appreciate you. You are a very smart person. But you must say, we got small flower. You know me. I come in. But I will deal with that one tomorrow. Well, the platform I was supposed to use Flanty KOFFA stuff tonight, platform, the software is not cooperating with me because somebody hand and foot are in my I'm telling you people tonight. I'm telling them here tonight. I see two of them here right now. Yeah, you take your hand and your foot from my TV here tonight. You see the cartel? You see the cartel? The cartel from Town. And I'm playing around. I'm watching you. But anyway, folks, let me quickly call my friend and brother, literally brother. We grew up in the same house, just like twins. But we don't behave like that. So let me call him Mr. AZANGO. Let me call Mr. AZANGO, who will help me here. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let me connect myself. Okay. Am I connected yet? No. Okay. That's not what I want to connect. That's not what I want to connect. Samson told Liberian Public, we're having so much problem this afternoon. That's okay. That's okay. I'm from Town. Let me now call Mr. Robert Wilbur AZANGO. Let me call him. Samson told Liberian Public Radio.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Robert AZANGO. Can you hear me?
How you doing, Mr. Two? I can hear you loud and clear.
But you got to go with that Mr. Business here to know. They want a serious business. I beg you. Don't come give me title that don't belong to me. Samson too. Okay. Yeah, Robert, how you doing, Chief?
I'm doing wonderful. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I call you to help me because Honorable Flanty KOFFA is seeking to be the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. I am not a member of CDC. I do not support CDC policy for which I supported Ambassador Bakai. But on a very serious note, I felt within myself that with Flanty KOFFA being the speaker and knowing who Flanty, I've already told the audience he's my friend, and knowing full well that Flanty will put Liberia first, in that if policy that will benefit Liberia and perhaps a strike contract with CDC, I don't know why it would be, but I'm just giving you that. I think Flanty KOFFA has the ability to say, this is for Liberia, and I am for Liberia. He will not resist. He is not going to fight Ambassador Bakai to make sure the policy that benefit Liberia will not be obstructed by Speaker KOFFA and his group. For that reason, I thought within myself that I do my own show, 1 or 2 hour show on Flanty KOFFA. I have a lot of video here where he had interview, and I just want to play those videos because he's very smart, very intelligent. But I call you to see if you can help me understand, because you know KOFFA a little bit as well. If you can help me to for the audience to understand who this wonderful, wonderful KOFFA is, and what you think, if what I'm saying here about KOFFA, if it is not right, that perhaps maybe there's something about KOFFA that I don't know. Maybe he will pull CDC before Liberia. So I want you to help me to educate and try to enlighten some friends, brothers, and sisters that are watching and perhaps want to know more about the KOFFA human being. Can you help us out?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, forgive me, I'm under the weather, so my voice is a little different tonight. But let me say for the record, my name is Robert AZANGO. I've known Deputy Speaker KOFFA for more than 40 years. I've worked with him in different capacities. So I think I come from a unique place when we talk about him. But more than just him, the issue is Liberia. I must also say for the record, I'm not a member of the CDC, never will be a member of the CDC. As a matter of fact, I was one of those who were on the train, so to speak. So that train has passed, and we are looking at the House of Representatives. The bigger question to be asked here is, and let's deal with the 800-pound gorilla in the room that some other network is making an issue of. I'm known for being direct and to the point and honest, and I'll try to do that tonight.
Yeah, I know you. Just be careful. You don't bring some of my secret outside here tonight. Because you be careful. Don't bring some of my pins, secret out here tonight. Beg you. Go ahead.
Mr. KOFFA, the issue being propagated out there, another network is Mr. KOFFA should not be Speaker of the House of Representatives because of his record in the United States of America. Point blank. Let's deal with it tonight.
Please.
Was Mr. KOFFA arrested? Let me say this. Was he arrested, indicted, prosecuted, and served time in the prison in the United States of America for a crime that he committed? Absolutely. He has not denied it. He has apologized for it, but one must put it in context. That was about 20 years ago.
Yes.
From the time Mr. KOFFA was released from prison, in fact, while he was in prison, that event caused his family pain. His wife was pregnant at the time with his third child. His siblings had to walk around with their hands bowed. His late mother and father, may peace be to the ashes, were people of high standing in the Liberian society. You can only imagine what that did to that family. But the KOFFA family, as I know, are proud and successful set of people. They rose above it. Today, FAONATI KOFFA is that light that not only represents the family, but he represents the Republic of Liberia. If they're going to use that as a standard by which we must judge the next speaker of the House of Representatives of the Republic of Liberia, let them look at their candidate, Mr. Richard Cohn, and let us ask the hard question: why was he fired from the Norwegian Refugee Council if it had nothing to do with stealing of $600,000 United States dollars? If you can use that for the goose, you must use that for the gander. If you want to do that, let's leave that alone. And let's look at what matters the most. And that is, what has Mr. KOFFA done for himself and for the Republic of Liberia since? Because his life did not end with what happened in the United States 20 years ago.
Okay. All right. Like you stay there, you're under the weather. Let me take this little bit while you're taking a sip of water. But thank you very much. When you come back, what I will ask her to do, let us stay now that you have laid the groundwork and we're waiting for them to come back. If they come back with that kinds of unnecessary conversation, then we will jump into that. Because none of us, not you, not me, none of us on this platform here tonight are afraid of exchanging ideas. Now, if they want to come back and go in the gutter, we also can climb into the gutter. We're from Peansville, you know. So I'm not going to go any more than that. But let me wait. You wait a little bit, take a sip of water, and let's go on. So, folks, again, Samson to Liberian Public on the phone with me is Rabbi Wilbur Victor AZANGO. So, well known. But anyhow, thank you, Rabbi, thank you. So let me go ahead. FAONATI KOFFA, okay, let me do this. FAONATI KOFFA, quite recently, had an interview with the group African Leadership Magazine. And this is a magazine that is in Liberia. In Africa, well known for picking young Africans who are making impact in their society. Okay? And at that time, they decided to interview FAONATI KOFFA. Okay? And I want you to listen to this one first. This is the one they asked FAONATI KOFFA, why are you involved into politics? Let's listen to this.
What would you say inspired you to become a lawmaker? And also, what has guided you over the years to continue to live a life of service to your people?
That's a very good question. So, I had earlier on in my political career, when I left law school, decided to return back to Liberia. And the legislature was always a point of interest. Because even though you have the constitutional requirements and prerogatives of a lawmaker, one of the things in Liberia lawmakers are, you are the first line of defense for citizens. So interacting with citizens on that personal level is always very good for me. And then it allows you to do some community work. And the more you do that, the better it is. Now,
it allows you to do community work. And this is a man that we want to jump over. Jump over it. I beg you. No, on a very serious note. This guy, and you will see more. You will see more of these things here tonight. FAONATI KOFFA, for me, is a very smart young man. He does the class of people who want to be Supreme Court practicing for a Supreme Court. He does our class. So that one part, no question asked. But let me read this to you on a very serious note. Let me read this to you. Mr. AZANGO, I will be coming back to you here very shortly. Let me just read this one paragraph. Okay. This is the magazine, African Leadership Magazine. So Jeff, Councillor Jonathan Flanty KOFFA, the Deputy Speaker of Liberia's Parliament, is, let me go, I don't want to be missing anything, is an energetic political leader adapted in the science and art of constituents representation, a lawyer and a political leader who sought but remained raised to the permanence in Liberia politics, show a healthy understanding of politics and the ability to cut across political and ethnical divide to accomplish national goal, not CDC goal, not CDC goal, national goals and objective. He has been instrumental in passing critical gender responsive bills, including the domestic violence bill and the female genital mutilation bill. So Flanty KOFFA is not somebody that's sitting down as a deputy speaker and said, I'm doing nothing. Robert, are you still with me?
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just reading that part where Flanty KOFFA, according to the report, is not just sitting down in the House of Representatives and just relaxing and say, I'm a representative now. But he's in fact seeking the interest and the goals of the Republic of Liberia and objectives, those things that will help the Liberian people. And in fact, according to the paper, just the one paragraph that I read, that he has already invested time into the women of the Republic of Liberia, into the disadvantaged women of the Republic of Liberia. And so a man like that, let me ask you, such a person who without sitting down and say, I'm a deputy speaker, I'm not going to do anything, and yet still decide to go into the Liberian society. And mind you now, women in Liberian society, talking about women in Liberian society, it's not something that you can rush to. Liberian society is still pretty much closed. But Robert, let me ask you this. With Flanty KOFFA, you think as a speaker, will he still be able to have that opportunity to do what I just read, what he did?
I mean, you know, the title is one thing, right? But the function of the duty doesn't change. As a matter of fact, the function becomes even greater because now he runs that third branch of government. We must keep in mind that Liberia, even though it has a unitary form of government, but it still models after the United States of America, where there are three separate but distinct branches of government. So he will be heading what is called a first branch. Doesn't mean that that branch is above all other branches, but it just means in the inaugural process, that branch represents the people directly, so they are the first to be seated. That's why you call it the first branch of government. But it's equal as one of three. Now, his role as speaker is not based on an executive power where everybody is beholden to you to serve at your will and pleasure. He has to find common ground. He has to show his ability to work across the different groups, the different power groups, and he has shown that before. Let's go back to his history. People may forget that Flanty KOFFA did not start in the CDC. Flanty KOFFA started in the Liberty Party. That is where we are.
Yeah,
he was one of the founding members of the Liberty Party.
Exactly.
He chaired the Liberty Party, if I dare say, he bankrolled the Liberty Party for many years.
For many years.
Now,
I
for
know
a
that.
person to be able to do that, that puts him in a unique position. I mean, he has his personal means and wherewithal that he should not be in the position where he can be compromised to steal. Says Councillor KOFFA, or for the record, let's call him Deputy Speaker because that's what he is. Since Deputy Speaker KOFFA returned to the Republic of Liberia, I challenge one person to point to one incident where his name has been involved in corruption, His name has been involved in stealing. His name has been involved in anything that has gone against the state of the country called Liberia. Never has. Never has.
Okay.
He served.
What would you say inspired you to become?
Sorry about that.
No.
Go ahead.
When he was chairman of the Liberty Party, he left the Liberty Party. That's a different discussion for a different day. He went on and served as Deputy Minister of State with our portfolio under what was then called the government of the the government of the Unity Party government. He served with distinction. In that time frame, he worked on what is now called the West African Power Project. He was instrumental from the setting up the legal framework on how Liberia will participate in that. Today, we have 800 megawatts of electricity in the Republic of Liberia. Is it being used effectively? Different discussion, different time, different day. But I will do a caveat to that.
Thank you.
He was successful in that. He was successful in working with a government at the time that we criticized. If people will remember, every time President Salif gave her annual message, Liberty Party was on the radio criticizing the message, taking it apart, making it simple for the population to understand, and telling them what was wrong and what was not right in that message. We were critical about it. We were not disrespectful. That was what FAONATI KOFFA doing. He subsequently decided to run for the House of Representatives. And something, give me a few moments, let me explain this further.
Please, please, please.
In the House of Representatives, because this issue right now is why should Coon be Speaker versus FAONATI KOFFA. People are saying they should go for an election. That's fair. That's fair. But here's the situation. If one recall, when the Unity Party had a majority black in the House of Representatives, the agreement that was made, the precedent that was set, was because Unity Party has the majority black, Unity Party carried the chairmanship, the speakership. I challenge anyone to look at any parliament around the world and show me where the minority rule the majority. That is the basic tenet of democracy. Election has consequences. CDC has 25 members in the House of Representatives. By itself, it is the largest voting bloc. Do I want CDC to have the speakership? No, but we must put right where right is. We must put president where president is. Unity Party under Eddie Jones, I think at the time, or maybe some other leader, had the second largest bloc. So Unity Party had the deputy speakership. It is that gentleman when he decided that he was running for the Senate and he won, thank God, that deputy speakership became open and FAONATI KOFFA ran and became deputy speaker.
Right.
Otherwise, the arrangement will stay the same.
Okay.
People are saying, let's throw that out.
Robert, just take a sip of water. I know you're on the water. Well, I'm taking you from under the blanket tonight for a specific reason, and I will apologize to the wife later because we are doing our function here is to educate and see what some of us arguing why FAONATI KOFFA should be speaker. So just sit tight. Let me go ahead and play this one or two more video, and I will bring you back in.
So inspired you to become a lawmaker, and also what has guided you over the years to continue to live a life of service to your people?
That's a very good question. So I had earlier on in my political career, when I left law school, decided to return back to Liberia. And the legislature was always a point of interest because even though you have the constitutional requirements and prerogatives of a lawmaker, one of the things in Liberia lawmakers are, you are the first line of defense.
I think we heard that already. Let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. And I'm not here to play
Legislature, under, of course, your support to the Speaker, being able to hold the government accountable to the people?
That's an excellent question. It is a struggle. It is a continual struggle because the executive always try to resist what they call intrusion and what we call oversight. We generally have series of legislative hearings. We bring there's even difficult times in getting ministers and head of parastatals to come to the legislature. Sometimes we go out and do visits to agencies and even to corporations and concessionaires to make sure that whatever we approve in the law or whatever we approved in the concession is being carried out. Our citizens usually complain in the case of concessions on fair labor treatment. We have to make sure those things happen. When it comes to overseeing the budgetary allocations, which the executive branch is responsible for implementation of the budget, but the budget is our tool, it's our fiscal tool. So we generally ensure that the executive expenditure is along the lines of what we have approved. Then going beyond that, you know, you have times where there has to be legislative interventions. During the COVID-19, we had to do supplemental budgets. During the rice crisis, we had to make sure that we add money in the budget for rice subsidy. You know, so these are the kind of balances we do at the legislature. Is it perfect? I think some citizens will still say, oh, you know, the legislature is a rubber stamp. But I think what the citizens don't see is before we get on the floor to take a final vote, it's probably 2 or 3 months of negotiations going on. You know, people are here, you know, other lawmakers are here, members of the executive are here. Sometimes I go over to the president and we discuss these things extensively and negotiate them. So by the time you get to the floor of the legislature, of the House, and you put up for a vote, you already know whether it's going to pass or not. You already know what but that's what the public sees, and they say, the bill came today and they passed it, you know. But you know, that's part for the courts.
Okay. I'm just showing you how smart, you see how easy he was able to explain the process in lawmaking. That's who he is. But let me read something to you. JFK, as many of us will call him, J. Flanty KOFFA, as many of us call him JFK, was recently lauded by the regional UN Women Ambassador for Africa, Madam Jenny Dockley, over his effort to end female genital mutilation in Liberia. She praised him for being a significant player in the legislature to champion bills in the interest of women, including the bill to outlaw the practice of FGM. So other women from outside Liberia have recognized that Flanty KOFFA is not just sitting down. He is doing things in the interest of the less privileged. He is doing things in the interest of our Liberian citizen. Perhaps many of us has overlooked many, many years. And over the years, Flanty KOFFA has recognized that these practices must come to an end so that we all, as Liberians, have the ability to do what it is we need to do to move the country forward. And this is the man that I'm saying, I'm asking many of you in the legislature to see reason to allow Councillor KOFFA or Deputy Speaker to ascend to the speakership, because he's not going to stop you from speaking your mind on the floor. He's not going to inject his own personal feeling to the bill that's going to benefit to all of the benefit to Liberians. He's not going to get involved into something that is not in the interest of the Republic of Liberia. Folks, go and do research on Flanty KOFFA. Let me bring in Robert. Are you still with me?
I'm still with you. I'm glad you mentioned some of the successes he has had
right
in the national legislature. specifically the representative. But let me go a little further. And what I want to do tonight is I want to be given a chance to compare and contrast the difference between the two candidates.
Please, please,
I
please.
know that Councillor KOFFA has 5 agendas. And as he explained in his synopsis about what he does, he says sometimes they have to go over to the executive mansion and negotiate with the executive on getting things moving forward. So one of his agenda items I know he has right now, he's considering, or he has as an agenda item, his plan for the speakership is the reform of the budget so that 73 districts, that all of the districts in the Republic of Liberia, feel the real impact of fiscal spending by allocation, that's by budgetary allocation, $1 million per district for health, education, youth empowerment, and infrastructure development. The budget of the Republic of Liberia is $700 million.
Yes.
He said, let's give each district $1 million every year for these reasons in the budget. That has not happened. That's one of his agenda items. The second agenda item is to push for the coastal highway covering the southeastern part of Liberia. This highway will benefit, let me say this. This highway will benefit all of the country because it will make trade with the Ivory Coast fastest growing in West Africa.
Right.
We got to think regionally.
And I don't mean to interrupt. But I think that particular policy from FAONATI KOFFA is in line with Ambassador Baka's policy of road building, connecting Liberia all over. So I think FAONATI KOFFA is in line with Ambassador Baka already. Go ahead.
Absolutely. But the idea of a coastal highway did not originate with the CDC. Because when we had many of our executive committee meetings with the Liberty Party, that was one of our agenda. The third item he has in mind is that he would like to implement modernization reform so that the House enters the digital age and not be voted with their hands in the air. There is no longer so say, oh, if you are a man or woman and you're going to vote on the issue, you're going to take a stand on the issue, there must be record for posterity so that when you go to return to the voters tomorrow and say, let me have your trust, they can look at your record and see how you voted on issues that pertain to them.
Yes.
The first thing is accountability of the legislature for fiscal overturn and annual audits.
Yes.
The man saying, let's create a situation where we'll audit the legislature. He now waiting for opposition to say that.
No.
He said, let's audit them. Come and audit us. Let's create it in our rules, in our law, that we have to be audited.
Yes. Yes.
The first thing he talked about passing legislation that streamlines the investment climate and make it easier for Liberians to do business.
Yes.
He said, let's put it in the. Those are the 5 items.
Okay.
Contrast that to please.
I don't even know if this may have anything that we can try to contrast.
Oh no. Let your audience listen for a moment. Let's hear what complaint is.
Okay.
Or I'm hearing a bird chirping.
No, I don't hear myself. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
The other network that is pushing coon, they can never come up to you and tell you what coon idea is.
Of course not.
All they do is tell you they got 2 lists. They got risky list and they got some other list.
Okay.
The FAONATI KOFFA has 58 signed, sealed, and delivered representative committed to his speakership. That resolution is coming out by January, I understand, of this week, if not by next week. So all of those who can be voting for him shows it.
Right. Right.
You understand?
Oh, yes. I think you're making my night beautiful, Mr. AZANGO. I think you're doing a wonderful, wonderful job tonight of trying to educate and enlighten brothers and sisters from Liberia on Faonati KOFFA, because we all know him. But I know Faonati KOFFA is more capable. But the way you explain it tonight is opening even my own set eye. So let me give you 1 or 2 minutes while you take a sip of water, because you're under the weather. I don't want you to start coughing and what have you. But let me go ahead. Let me read some. No, before I read, let me throw this other video in here, folks. I just want you guys to listen to Faonati KOFFA as he goes on to explain. Not only will you know that this young man is very smart, but I want you to look at the ease, the way he explained the complicated process of passing a bill. That is interesting. Interesting. Let's listen to this one.
Of the Liberian legislature, the House of Representatives. What are some of the key legislative initiatives that you are currently working on, and what are the expected impact of some of this? Of course, those you've already touched on, those you've already concluded, and those you're currently working on. Okay,
so the major thing we're working on now is a change in the rules, which was introduced by me. We want to change the rules, so again, for transparency, our votes are recorded. Generally, what we do on the floor, if it's a financial bill, we do show of hands.
Okay.
When you do show of hands, it's very difficult to go back 5 months from now and say, okay, who actually voted for this? So we want to introduce the rules where our votes are recorded, so the public can judge as to how and when we voted, because oftentimes when there's controversy, maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, a law is not working and people say, oh, you passed the law. You want to be able to say, no, the reason why I opposed this at the time is because of X, Y, and Z reason. So I think that's my major push for going towards the end of the session. We've had a concession that is coming up, which is the Mittal Steel, as to whether or not we're going to renew. It has to do with the issue of whether or not we keep control of our infrastructure, that is who runs the rail. You know, those are things even the Americans have become involved. So going to the end of session, those would be the big 2 items that would be on my legislative agenda. There's not much more time before we adjourn. This is an election year and everybody's mind is not in their constituency.
Okay, I'm just giving you some flavor of Faonati KOFFA, a small pan butter here, a small kesali here, and everything else in the middle. Faonati KOFFA on a very serious note. Do you see? I have not heard. I don't even know this other candidate anyway. But the interesting thing is this: Faonati KOFFA has the experience. Faonati KOFFA served as deputy. So Faonati KOFFA most likely have seen the operational aspect of a speaker. And with his smartness and the fact that he is able to be connected all over Africa and all over the world, that's a plus. Let me read this. Remember I told you about this UN woman ambassador before? In her own words, she said, we have seen this as an opportunity for us to interact with you. And we would like to say this as a fact, that you are a champion in the fight against female genital mutilation in Liberia. You are a champion for the cause of women. You, Faonati KOFFA, are the champion for the cause of the women. Let me read on. Honorable, she said, I must confess that your stance against FGM is a realistic and honest and sincere. I hope I have been here. I have not found someone who is so persistent and firm on his issue on this. Your dedication, your commitment, your passion, and your willingness to champion is excellent, Ambassador Jackson. This is a woman from the UN praising somebody from Southtown. Somebody from UN that not even like, I said from Town, I said from the UN, praising Councilor KOFFA like this. That this man not only is there in the House of Representatives to sit down, But he's passing law, making sure bills are introduced that are in the interest of our brothers, of our sisters, mother, and wives. What else? So if he Deputy Speaker and passing the law in the interest of Liberians, what make you think that if FAONATI KOFFA becomes a speaker, that he will not do more? And as you heard, Robert spoke earlier, FAONATI KOFFA is also asking, let's pass a bill that will audit us, that all that money they're making, if they pass the bill, that will audit them. What's wrong with that? To see how the money is going. And he also is trying to say, let's give each of the districts in the Republic of Liberia at least $1 million for health, education, and other things that will help the Liberian people. This is what a speaker is supposed to do. Now the speaker who sits on Yeka Koluba here every day, those days are over. Yeka Koluba is now free, will be free, will say whatever he wants to say. Nobody has stopped him before. But I mean on the floor of the representative, Yeka Koluba will be allowed to express himself freely. We might not agree with him, but he has the right. He was elected. But this grand speaker sat on Yeka Koluba here every day that this young man must not speak. Speaker KOFFA will not do so. Rabbi, are you still with me?
Yeah, let me interject. You made a point, and I just want to emphasize of that.
Please.
KOFFA, the idea of being a visionary, I think that's a word that people use. A lot of people don't seem to understand. A visionary is somebody who sees beyond your current state and try the course to get to that point, right? So here is KOFFA is saying, these are my agenda items. Think about it. This way I want to take the House of Representatives. Or you just mentioned the name Yeka Koluba. So I think it's important that we kind of bring him into this briefly, but there's some other thing I want to talk about quickly. Yeka, can you imagine that you bring the minority to chair the majority? Who in the right mind think that Mr. Kuhn will honestly control the House of Representatives? Let me give an example. Yeke Koluba, when he gets ready, he disrupts the process, the proceeding in the House. For hours, that House becomes paralyzed. Nothing goes through. Now imagine 25 Yeke Kolubas. Do you really think Mr. Kuhn can control? He is the minority. He black can't do anything. Do you really think he can control? He can't. That is why the rule is set in place. That the majority rules. That is why FAONATI KOFFA, who heads the majority, has to be speaker. For that very fact, that you bring control into a body. For those who are advocating that Kuhn must be speaker, what they do not understand is something the old people used to say, they think beyond 3 is greater than 4. If Mr. Kuhn gets there, you will have a disruptive House of Representatives, I pray it doesn't, that there is no agenda item that my president-elect will be able to pass through. Anything that comes to the floor will be voted down. It stands a better chance with FAONATI KOFFA, who has shown his ability to work with presidents to get both agenda moving forward. The agenda for the Republic of Liberia is not exclusive to the president or the president-elect. There are others who have ideas. It's a matter of negotiating. That's what politics is. And seeing how you can come up with the best solution moving forward. Now, let me speak briefly on the situation during our presidential election. I'll let it go. There was a young man, I believe his name was Morris. He came last. Mr. Morris went on another network. They castigated that young man. They debated that young man. They denigrated that young man, made him look like he was nothing, that he was corrupt. But you know, out of that young man's team, he had great people in his team, Mr. Ekena Phillips, who was in Houston, a renowned engineer. All of that great idea came with the most pronounced and the most considered and the most put together idea among many of the candidates. His idea was put up clearly. It said, let there be light. After they announced the idea and they put it out there, then you start hearing your finance minister and other people saying, oh yes, power distribution is important, we will do it. He was a visionary. Yes, he didn't have the votes, but his people around him, like Mr. Phillips, was able to push that forward. Why am I saying that? The same network is now trying to debate for FAONATI KOFFA. What happened is they would not have the chance to do that because Mr. KOFFA already has the votes. They got to live with it. And let us find the best way moving forward. You want to go traditionally? Let's go traditionally. I'm from Lofa County. FAONATI KOFFA wife is from Lofa County. Mr. Boyka is considered our uncle traditionally. We will make sure that Mr. Boyka succeeds. Who interest do you think FAONATI KOFFA will have in her besides being from the Southeast? The people of Lofa, the people on the train. People need to use their heads. This is not somebody because you're the candidate from a party that does not have a majority of votes. Election has consequences. Now we have to live with it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Just sit tight. We'll come right back to you. Mr. K, Mr. K, who is also watching me, thank you very much for watching. If you care, you can give me a call here. I will pick up your call if you want to make any contribution, Mr. K. We will pick up your call as well. But let me go on. Let me bring this other video in. FAONATI KOFFA
has attracted local and global attention. Can you tell us more about this bill and what inspired you to pursue the gender bill?
Okay, so it's one of those things where it was a perfect storm. You got a president who we call he for she is the feminist in chief. You have a vice president who was the first initiator of the gender equity bill. It didn't pass previous legislatures. And then you had the leadership, myself foremost, who were liberal enough to believe this is something whose time had come. There was difficulty because, of course, the majority of the members, male members, did not think that we should even go there. They raised the argument that 30% gender parity bill is unconstitutional because it should be a situation of one man, one vote, and everybody compete the same way. Well, I do not believe in quotas, but I believe in affirmative action. To the extent where women have been historically oppressed or locked out of the political system, government has to take affirmative action to equal that balance. And in taking that affirmative action, you have to set some sort of guidelines. And when the We Are government came to power, all of those things came to and fro in terms of the actors and in terms of the mindset of the policy. So it was easier for us to jump on that bandwagon and say, okay, look, this is a bill whose time has come. Let's go ahead and put it in the elections law. Let's go ahead and rally for it. Attended several UN sponsors programs, got several high profile people to come in, worked behind the scenes with my colleagues, and at the end made sure that the gender bill passed. I got to tell you, up until the day that we passed that bill, I was not sure we were going to get the votes, but we did get it. That's some of the backroom negotiations that
happened before.
Correct.
I mean,
So I don't believe in quota, but I believe in affirmative action. The women of Liberia, and I'm paraphrasing, has been marginalized for a very long time. And the government has the right and must step in to make sure everything even up. FAONATI KOFFA. Mr. K, if you are there, go ahead, make a statement, come on in, then I can bring Robert back in. Mr. K, any contribution for you this afternoon? That would be Mr. James K, that is. Mr. K, any contribution for you this afternoon?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. K, you're going to have to lower your monitor. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, how's it now?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, thank you very much. And I really like the topic you're talking about tonight because I personally worked with KOFFA for many years. KOFFA was one of the three or four people that worked with me to start what became Friends of Bromsky and then gave rise to Liberty Party. So I know KOFFA very well. He's very idealistic. He's hardworking. And I know that if Liberian people would take time to understand him, he will drive our nation into the right direction. I think his speakership will be far different from what we've ever seen in modern times. And I'm glad that he's going for that position. And he's the right person at this time. We need somebody like him who is forward thinking.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Let me go back to Robert. Robert, are you still there? That's Mr. K. Robert, are you there?
I'm saying, Jay, how you doing? Yeah, it's been many years. Jay, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Nice hearing you again.
This is Liberty Party. This is Liberty Party convention tonight. We have Robert AZANGO, we have James K, we have Samson too. Go ahead, Robert.
No, I mean, we've said a lot concerning Councilor KOFFA. What I try to do is to always bring it back to the process we have going on right now. And I want the audience to understand and appreciate the process. The process here is all of those who are going to vote and not us who are in the diaspora. But the voters are those who are in the House of Representatives, and the numbers matter. Not only does the fact that the numbers do matter, but the fact also there are processes, procedures, and precedents that governs that August body. So no one should come in and say that they're going to go for their own solution or whatever thought process they have. They will be able to go on and change things the way they want it to be for their candidate. No one should pee on your foot and tell you that ring. They're lying, my people. The people have the process in there. It goes by majority. Democracy says majority rules. And if that being the case, for us to have stability within the House of Representatives, we have to follow that important tenet of democracy. That is the point I'm making tonight. So,
thank you.
And if I'll turn out back to you, Samson.
Okay, thank you. Let me go back to Mr. K so he can give us a parting statement and then he can listen, taking it. Mr. K, any parting statement from you before we move on to the next subject matter here?
Well, like I said, at this stage, especially when we have a new administration coming in, the success of the administration also depends on how the House or let's say how the legislature is structured in terms of wanting to move forward. And we need people who are forward-looking. Because for a very long time, we have seen that our nation takes one step forward and then before we know it, we're going backward. So at this crucial time, rallying the vote for someone like KOFFA and the like-minded people like KOFFA will help the new administration that's coming in to be able to achieve its agenda.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. K. We'll say good night to you as well. Thank you very much for your contribution. Okay. We appreciate it. Robert Setai.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Robert Setai.
No, I'm here.
Okay. So let me play this one more video and then I can move on to the last one. Then we will be able to open the line. But let's go ahead and play this one video.
Share some of your constituency engagement and what
do you say?
No, I say I have a quick question for you. Are you recording this? Because I'm getting a lot of calls and text messages. People want, if they can't get it, they want to be able to look at this later on.
Yeah,
so
all they have to do is go to Liberia Public Radio and all of our past, and even go to YouTube, and they will be able to see it. So all of our past interaction is automatically recorded and stored in our website, Liberia Public Radio Facebook page. They can find that
All right.
many months from now. I will be there. Okay, so let me go ahead and play this video.
Already focus on those engagements as it were.
Okay, so one of the things we do every year is we go back home and we tell our citizens this is what we achieved in the year prior. We do that about April every year. We didn't do that this year because we're going to combine all of that with our election year campaign. Then the second thing we do is we make sure that our citizens who come to Monrovia get the services from the government they need. Then we also reach out to our citizens in the constituents themselves to make sure things like healthcare, education, and social welfare benefits are available to them. That's how we reach out to them. We have a district office, our district, and we have 6 district coordinators for the 6 districts. And we reach out that way to our citizens.
Okay. So, Robert, I'll be coming to you, but let me finish reading this here very quickly, and then I'll come to you. In the meantime, please take some water so your throat can be cooled off. Okay. Prior, the Deputy Speaker was very instrumental in the passage of the Domestic Violence Bill. Legal Robe, he is the founder and manager partner of the International Law Group, and he has been practicing law since 1997, both in Liberia and in the United States of America. Councillor KOFFA was also admitted into the Liberian into the Supreme Court Bar of the Republic of Liberia with distinction honor as valedictorian of the graduating class. Political roles. In 2016, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf appointed KOFFA as Minister of State without portfolio and special prosecution of the civil mining bribery scandal case. A few months later, he was appointed legal counsel to the President of Liberia. Councillor KOFFA resigned in late July 2017 to participate in the general presidential election as a candidate for the representative seat in Grand Cru County District 2. On October 19, he was declared the winner of that electoral process. In 2021, he was subsequently elected as Speaker of the 54th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. Leadership role. Councillor J. Falanti KOFFA is the immediate past chairman of the Judiciary Committee of the 54th National Legislature. He was a member of the Committee on Election Integration and the Committee on Human Civil Rights. He is the current acting chairperson of the Grand Cru Legislature Caucus at the 54th National Legislature and the Deputy Speaker of the 54th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. So I thought that I gave you guys all of those information. Councillor KOFFA is not coming and asking to be Speaker from the bike. Councillor KOFFA has served his time. He has come along the way, and because of that, he must be given the opportunity to do more. He has done so many things for Liberia. You heard on this video where he said he goes back home to tell his people, to say, this is what I have done. And his people are there giving the opportunity to judge him. And because of that, he will be re-elected, and he has been re-elected. This is what legislation is supposed to do. Now you sit down in Montreal, then you say you got offer in Totan. You sit in Montreal, then you say you got offer in Totan. People in Totan don't even know who you are. Since the election, you have not gone back to Totan. Councillor KOFFA continue to engage his people. And you will see, once he becomes the Speaker, you will see the effectiveness of of how Councillor KOFFA going to operate. We're not just here praising him because he's a friend. No. No. Because some of us have engaged Councillor KOFFA before. Not only is he intelligent and smart, but he's capable. And for me, to be honest with you, you know, I don't hold back when it comes to Ambassador Baka. As far as I'm concerned, nothing gonna move me back from Ambassador Baka. But Ambassador Baka needs a like of Councillor KOFFA, someone who will come in and say, whatever it is, that whatever differences we have in Liberia, we must all put hands together and get this country moving. And this is exactly what Ambassador Baka is saying. Ambassador Baka did not tell us, y'all bring hands together, but I want only one hand from one side, all the other one that's also my supporter, and all the other people from Unity Party. No, he said everyone. In fact, he said there is no green Liberia, there is no blue Liberia. We're all a Liberian. And once you have the ability to contribute, you are welcome. And so Flanty KOFFA is putting his hand up. Say, Ambassador Baka, I have the ability. Liberian people, I have the ability. Legislature, y'all know me, I have the ability. Let's get KOFFA in there to do the job that will be fitting for Liberia. Robert, are you still with me?
I'm with you, man.
Okay. Go ahead. I will soon be opening the line.
Well, go ahead, open the line. Let's see if we can engage the audience, and I'll be more than happy to answer questions if they.
Okay. All right. Let me play this last video, then I'll open it up.
A third world lawmaker is challenging, so we try to accommodate all those needs, because we got to do everything from paying rent to making sure your pension benefits get to you on time.
I mean, you just nailed it there when you said being the lawmaker, because there's a distinction. You are the government they see, so they believe that whatever happens there, this is the man that we should hold responsible. And I'm glad you've just mentioned those district officers, because one of the major challenges we've seen with lawmaking across the continent is the disconnect between the people and their lawmaker. So that district office would definitely help. What message, would you like to send to the people of Liberia in an election year and the international community about what to expect from Liberia, from the legislature, and of course the country in general as it goes into this election?
I think what Liberia will show this year, as we've shown in the by-elections, and I think this is going to be a critical general elections, is I think you will see an election relatively free of violence. Electoral violence is going to be de minimis. I think you will see vigorous electoral challenges and electoral process. I think you have a situation now where the more the democracy grows in a society, the more people want to participate. When I say people want to participate, more people want to be lawmakers and more people want to be president. So the more these things happen, the more you will see vigorous campaign process. I think I expect to see that. I think at the end of the day, Liberians will be the winner. The voter registration process was very, very, very intense. I was disappointed that it was difficult to convince our citizens that your vote is your power and registering to vote is what you needed to do. So we had to get in the trenches to try to explain that to our people. If you don't register, there's no way you will be able to participate in this. There's no way you will be able to see me, because I'm not going to waste my time with somebody who's not registered to vote, because you're going to have no impact. So I think the international community will see a robust Liberian democracy. I think we'll see at the end of the day that Liberians will come together, because this is going to be a very interesting election.
And there you have it. Robert, just sit tight. Let me do this little bit. Let me do this. tonight. I'm on fire for Liberia tonight. So, folks, as you know, this is the rule. I'm getting ready to take my seat. It does not mean a form of disrespect, but I'm going to sit down so that I'll be able to operate the machine when you call in. So please excuse me as I turn my back to walk to my seat. Samson Toe. Okay. All right. Robert, are you still there?
I'm still with you, Samson.
Okay. So you mind if I tell some story about you and Samson Toe when you were growing up in one house?
It's but the deputy speaker tonight. Therefore, deputy speaker.
You scared? You and Samson Toe grew up in one house. You scared?
Bring my own house out. Bring my own house out.
Oh no! Okay, forget it. Forget it. In fact, let's pretend I don't know you. You don't know me. That's the first time talking. So let's. Okay, folks. Samson Toe, LIBERIA, give us a call here while we're waiting for the call. Let me make sure. Yeah, it is connected. So, Robert, let's continue with the while we're waiting for the call from our brothers and sisters. Flanti KOFFA. Jeez. Okay. So, Robert, are you still there?
I'm still with you.
Yeah. So, so Flanti KOFFA, we're all saying on a serious note. You think what his speakership would truly bring to Liberia, and how do you think some of his performance, how does that going to enhance the operational factor of Ambassador Baka and the incoming government?
Well, I think, there's a saying like they say you will know your Christmas will be good from the eve, right? And I think, KOFFA, the Speaker KOFFA has shown us over the period of time that one, he's a professional, two, that he has the capability, and he has the ability to govern the House properly. And he has shown us, I remember looking at one video tip when Representative Koduba was really disturbing. Councillor KOFFA left his seat up on the where he was sitting, and went down to Yeke Koduba and whispered his ear. Yeke Koduba calmed down. He left the room, or he calmed down. Just how you've heard him deliver his message to the international audience, that's just how he is in person. That is how he is. So I don't think you're going to expect more than that as far as his personality. But the one thing I do know here, I talk about it many of years when he was at Shaw University and I was at Tuskegee. He said something to me I never forget. He said, I will give me 5 good people and I can run the popular Liberia. But then one must put in context. At the time you were talking about 2 idealized and inspired young people who thought we could fix everything by ourselves. Obviously, we have matured and developed since then, but it shows that his level of commitment to the Republic of Liberia and moving it forward. Look, man, we are children of the era where we saw the coup d'etat, where we saw Thomas get killed, where we saw Totman die. We are that bridge between the old and the new. So we are uniquely positioned to be able to transition this country to where we all want it to be. The generation today, when they talk to you and you talk to them, but we don't talk about, to them you talk about somebody in the history books. It's like you talking to me about CDB King. That man, you talking about that man in the history book. That's who these impactful leaders are to them. So my point is, KOFFA is here today. He has had his impact. He has made history. And he will continue to make history for the betterment of our country. He continued to speak to world leaders. He continued to engage, if I'm not mistaken. I think at one point he was given an award for being the Parliamentarian of the Year or something. Correct me, that's something you probably know about that. So the thing is, people have always looked at him. People have always respected him. Even the United States government continued to engage him. I remember when we were at the Liberty Party headquarters, the U.S. embassy will come and I still have orders for him. This is the man supposed to put that on the Royal America. You know? So like call a spade a spade. The man is good for our republic. He's good for our legislature. You can compare him to people before him, and you have the opportunity to compare him with people who come after him. But he would be good for us. And I think we should all support him, put our hands around him. Let we put our hands around our Uncle Joe Boycott, and let's move Liberia forward.
Okay. All right, Robert, I thank you very much. I'm going to even, because I can tell your voice is not that crisp right now. So let me excuse you. Thank you for your contribution tonight. We really, really do appreciate it. And
Not a problem.
so I hope that you and I are going to engage again on other issues that will be a discussion about our Liberia, anything that is affecting our brothers and sisters back home. But I want to thank you very much, Mr. Azango. Thank you for your contribution tonight. And I also pray, I mean, yeah, we come in here, put fun and stuff like that, but it's a very serious business, because I also believe that Councillor KOFFA is in a unique position to help Ambassador Baka transfer this nation from one position to another. I want to thank you very much for your contribution, sir.
Not a problem. Anytime.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
All right, bye-bye.
That is the voice of Robert Azango, who had agreed tonight to join me in telling you who KOFFA is. And many of you have these negative ideas of KOFFA, and that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Every one of us has made mistake, and some of us have served must be different capacity. But no one is perfect. Let me put it this way. No one is perfect. And so if Councillor KOFFA put his hands up and said, I want to lead, I think Liberians should be given the opportunity to do so. Many of you still thinking that perhaps the past should always remain. Nobody is saying that he has not done something in the past, but he has paid. And not only that, KOFFA has been in Liberia for all these years. When was the last time that you can say he was involved in X, Y, and Z in terms of corruption? In fact, because of his cleaning, in terms of Liberia and the corrupt behavior in Liberia, he was asked to be the prosecutor of some of the corrupt practices in Liberia. So he is well positioned to come out and talk about these things. So on Franti KOFFA, as far as I'm concerned, he should be, and I think the Liberian legislature should give him that opportunity to take this country to the next level. Simple. And I think if we do that, I think Liberia will be going forward. As you heard, Robert Azango correctly stated earlier that Franti KOFFA is asking to put in a bill some of the developmental agenda that Ambassador Baka already have in mind. So if you have a speaker who also thinking in line in that direction as your incoming president, and if he's elected as speaker, and he's already have the developmental agenda pretty much in line with the incoming president, then why will you not allow him to be the speaker? That is a serious question that we all must ask, because if the man is capable of thinking as such, to say that I want a coastal road highway that will benefit Liberia, and you know President Baka have already stated that within 100 days, no car gonna get stuck in. That's how much, even though that's not a statement that I will run into the bank with, but just to let you know that with that kind of statement, it means all Ambassador Baka, most of the thing that he wants to talk about is roll, 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 and rolls. So Victor also mentioned another person here who was also a renowned engineer. And so many of us, of course, I'm not a renowned engineer, I'm a big mouth engineer. So, but many of us that are in the engineering business will be willing to sacrifice, to do what we have to do to make sure Ambassador Baka succeed. Because if he achieves any higher standard in terms of Liberia, Liberians succeed, and the successful country of Liberia will help all of us. Let me tell you the secret why I'm pushing the whole Ambassador Baka must be successful agenda. You know why I'm pushing that agenda? Why I want Ambassador Baka to be successful? So the people will leave me, let me enjoy my money small. Yeah, man. By the way, sandwich is down. I don't know what's going on with that sandwich business, but they're down. They're down. They were down today. But if Ambassador Baka is successful to make sure Liberians are enjoying themselves, they will leave me alone. They will not bother me with my fasting. Then when I get my one or two cents, I do what I want to do here. Then the other thing, then I do what I have to do. That's my money. But how I will do what I want to do, how I will go where I want to go, when the other people, brother and sister back and say, I want deal, I can't get deal. I got to get it. And I'm not alone. I'm not alone. There are many, 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 many thousands of Liberians that can't wait for tomorrow for same way to start working so they will send money home. But if we all pray and succeed that Ambassador Baka and his people are successful in transforming the lives of the Liberian people, including Councillor KOFFA, why will we not jump on that? Why will we not jump? Are we going to say, Councillor KOFFA, yes, he has the ability, but he's CDC, and we must make unity because Unity Party have just won. Therefore, Unity Party must be successful and must be in that position anyhow. For what? For what? No. If KOFFA has the ability, Ambassador Baka told us this. In fact, just another newspaper where Ambassador Baka said, in this government, and I'm paraphrasing him, nobody say I'm quoting him, because I'll quote or post something about it on Sunday. Ambassador Baka says, and paraphrasing to be honest. He said, hating I said, my people. But anyhow, we are for Liberia. Hey, you can hear, say, hey, you can hear, that's for Liberia. I don't care. But anyhow, Ambassador Baka said, this government, competent, merits, patriotic, caring person, responsible, transparency. Those are the people that he will take to work with him. You're not going to take people like Samson told them that don't know anything, they just got be more. You're not going to take them. If I want jobs, hey, Ambassador Baka, I've been talking for you the whole time on the radio. I say you go. I say you now you win. You're gonna get. He said, "Show me your resume." I don't get resume because I don't even get GED. So I will get resume now. So I've been running my mouth here the whole time. Ambassador Baka, yami, Ambassador Baka. And then you know when I say Ambassador, then he say, oh, okay, Samson, you've been talking about me. Can't get this. Why I know? Why I know? Ambassador Baka would do that, then he will bring that people down. Something told you know nothing. Something told you got be mad. So y'all leave it alone. Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Pablo Reader, it's a very serious business here tonight. I know. But people, we have to do these things on a very serious note. We have to do these things. Despite all what you have about Councillor KOFFA, not only is he a decent person, but that one mistake he made, he regretted it. It's always, always something. And in fact, I would say to you, because of that one mistake, it made Councillor KOFFA to be one of the best. In everything that he put his hand in, he told me, he said, Samson, anything I touch that have to do with Liberia, because of that one mistake, I want to make sure that I'm successful. Not only should I be successful, but I should do it so Liberian will be proud of me. If somebody, an individual, made an individual mistake and say, I'm sorry to the entire country, because he felt with himself. That's as educated as he is. He's a son of Liberia. And therefore, he must do all he can to make sure that Liberians appreciate it. Folks, this is Samson to Liberian Public Radio. I'm going to end now this program. I want to thank all of you. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. It was. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for your support. I'll be back again tomorrow, where we will bring some people on board, some of the analysts with their conservative view. Let's see, they will come. Watching, yeah, see, yeah. But Will, not come on. Where you coming from tonight? Saying he's a Liberian now. Are we not supposed to allow a Liberian to? Let me read some of you guys coming. Larry, I just told you. So he made a mistake. So that one mistake, we will hold into that forever. You got Prince Johnson serving as senator. You got some people still working in the government. That was ridiculous. You want to hold those people still? Come on, Madison, please. Yeah, he made a mistake, and it's over. He's doing what he can now to make sure Liberian enjoy. So by me saying these things, I'm not alone. Josh told you want to still introduce people with dirt into the new government. The new government, don't you want me to open my mouth? You want me to open my mouth? You want me to open my mouth? So tomorrow program, folks, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to bring KOFFA again. I'm going to talk about KOFFA, but I will mix it up with the incoming government. This incoming government, to be honest with you, this government has a lot that it's going to be facing. Some challenges that you have never seen before in your life that this Ambassador Baka going to be facing with. And so the only hope that I have, as far as I'm concerned, is that those who Ambassador Baka going to bring along must be clear-minded people. Liberia, we're not suffer too long. Yeah, Mr. AZANGO, I'm still on air.
I know you're still on air. I happened to be looking at you on YouTube, and I realized that you were responding to some people who are still stuck in the past.
Yes.
So I thought it was prudent that I called back. You know, there are some people nothing you can do about them.
Okay.
You know, there are certain people, you open to call people with sheep mentality. They follow the sheep. They cannot for themselves. At the end of the day, these same people tomorrow will be saying, the guy in the Bible said when he came out and said, you used to walk with Jesus Christ, they ever said that. So there's nothing we can do about that. at the end of the day, this is the best candidate. If they want to go water, I'm prepared to go water. I'm prepared to talk with the Unity Party candidate in all of his heyday and glory, from refugee council to the other place where he was fired, from the World Bank money and all that. I think
No, Robert, we don't want to do that. We don't want to.
Contribution people are using us. We can go water.
No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. These are people. They have the right to express their doubt. Yeah. That's okay.
Let them express it. Let them express it. I want to express it to people like that.
Okay.
I remember that.
The Israeli mentality is all over. You do that, you think you can do more. What we can do? Okay, folks. Samson told Labra Pabrito, I'm gonna try to leave it here. But what's today? Monday? No. Yeah, I think today is Monday. Okay. So as I was saying, let's try to give each of us the opportunity to do stuff. No one is perfect. Many of us, as I was talking to another friend today, there are those few Liberians that can, at this age now, that will say, I have done all except bad things. But many of us, we all have skeleton in our own little closet. Some people's skeleton that in a house, they don't even have a closet because the skeleton ain't fit in a closet. In a house, they have a whole house of skeleton. So we'll just leave it as that. You guys have the right to express yourself the way you want. But I truly believe Councillor KOFFA to be the speaker would be the best thing that all Liberians will be proud of. And I know many of you who continue to write and have some objection to what I'm saying here will come back tomorrow and appreciate the wisdom and political wisdom of putting myself behind Councillor KOFFA. Because I truly believe, in fact, besides that, I also believe this government, I don't believe President Baka wants to have a government, once so say all. I don't think that's what he wants. He wants to have a vigorous challenge. He wants to have a debate of issues affecting our people, because he knows he doesn't have monopoly on ideas. He can bring his own idea. And other people, he will be expecting people to challenge him. He will want people to challenge him, because that means if you allow people to challenge you, and if you win, that means your idea is the best. But if you put forth idea and nobody challenges, nobody says anything, how will you even know that what comes out of your mind is good? And I don't see KOFFA to sit there and allow Ambassador Baka just to run over the people. I don't see KOFFA doing the brown bag business either. You heard him today. I play all these videos. This is a man that was explaining on the complicated legislature policy as though he was drinking water. So what do you want? This is the man. This is the man. This is the man. I truly believe that. This is the man. So I hope the legislature, Honorable Koluba, I think KOFFA, you know already that when KOFFA is the speaker, that you, in fact, will be allowed freely to. That's all you've been fighting for all these years. You have brilliant idea, Koluba. Brilliant idea. I don't agree with you on many of the way you go about it, but I don't blame you either. You were elected just like all of them, and then they don't want you to. They want to sanction you. That is unacceptable. And so you kick back, and with many of us will follow you. I don't like some of the things you say, but that's the way you want to express it. But Honor Speaker KOFFA, you will be allowed to express yourself. And I know you're not a rude person. People say, well, Yaka Koluba. No, Yaka Koluba rude because you people make Yaka Koluba rude. Yaka Koluba disrupted the House of Representatives because you people forced Yaka Koluba to disrupt the House of Representatives. You think Yaka Koluba want to be representative because he got nothing to offer people except to disturb? No. But you're forcing him. You're forcing in a corner. And you got to strike by. He's a human being like any other person. But watch and see. When Councillor KOFFA become the speaker, Yaka Koluba will be allowed freely to express himself. And you will see how intelligent Yaka Koluba is. You will see how smart Yaka Koluba is. You will see how respectful Yaka Koluba is to the process. You're kicking in a corner, you want to sanction, kicking out of then you want him to be quiet? No. So I don't agree with many of the things Yaka Koluba would say, but you're forcing to do that. The man was, I did a whole 2-hour show here on Yaka Koluba, just like I'm doing as KOFFA here tonight. The man wanted the children to go to Ghana. Then the government seized the man children milk. Formula. The milk the baby is supposed to be drinking. They seize it. What you want the children to do? To die? That's how wicked you was to Yaka Koluba. Then when Yaka Koluba struck back, then the man rule. He can be cussing. He want to brand you. There are other people over there, but we don't know where they're coming from. They're all over there. Hey, want to throw Yaka Koluba out of brand you. You can't do it again now. You come back. Yaka Koluba will versus Zwadru. You come back and can't say you're coming kick Yaka Koluba out of Zwadru. You try again now. You try again. And you say you're Southeasterner, you're tough. You can't try again now. What a disgrace. But anyway, it's not about me tonight. I'm not going to put up my own stuff. I'm just saying, Councillor KOFFA, please, legislature, see reason to elect this person. He has the ability to separate party sentiment to that of Liberian interest. Party sentiment to that of Liberian interest. He can do that. He has done it on many, many occasions. Again, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, I'm enjoying myself already. What can I say? What can I say? I want to play golf, but for some reason, I got it. Daddy, people, let me hold my cartel here. They go away here. You see what I'm doing to the cartel? The header was so go away. Go away here. See the header go away. The cartel, you can play with it. The cartel, Alfonso call it a Walmart cartel, but this is a real cartel from Totan. You see all the I don't know how to call it, but the cartel, you see how the things shaking like that. Sometimes if I leave it, it can just be shaking. You see, and I'm shaking it, it's shaking by itself. I'm trying to hold it. You see how it do my hand? You see how the cartel taking me? It's taking me down there. I better stop before the real cartel people. I better stop before the real cartel people come test me. I don't know anything. All right, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, we're having fun here tonight, but on a very serious note, let's pray for the Republic of Liberia, and let's pray that Honorable KOFFA will be successful so that this country will be able to be transformed into a country that we're all hoping and praying for, which is the better Liberia for all of us. Again, folks, Samson told, I'll say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night, folks.
That was Hitler. He was in Europe. I said that was Hitler. Hitler was in Europe. And this Hitler was practicing apartheid. Yes, Hitler was practicing apartheid. And those Europeans and Jews wanted it to die. And those Europeans and Jews wanted it to quench. One more time. That was Hitler. He was in Europe. That was Hitler. I say he was in Europe. And that Hitler was practicing apartheid. Yes, Hitler was practicing apartheid. And those Europeans and Jews wanted him to die. Oh yes, Europeans and Jews wanted him to die. That was war. I said that was war. Yes, that was war between Hitler and Europe. And that was war to eradicate apartheid in Europe. And that was war to eradicate apartheid in Europe. And all the whole world was invited to fight. The whole world was invited to fight. Yes, the whole world was invited to fight. Because America was invited to fight. Japan was invited to fight. Russia was invited to fight. France was invited to fight. Not all that, Africa was invited to fight. Yes, Africa was invited to fight. My father and your father were invited to fight. My father and your father were invited to fight. Like obedient children, we went there to fight. Like obedient children, we went there to die. I said like obedient children, we went there to fight. Oh yes, like obedient children, we went there to quench.